And I really, really believe wholeheartedly with everything in me that the best gift you can give your children is to love their father or their mother and to have a strong marriage.
I agree.
I believe that with everything in me. And I think that people can get that mixed up sometimes where they think that in order to give their kids the best gift, they have to pour everything into their kids, when really your kids are going to be okay if you're pouring into your spouse. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yep.
But it can be really hard because obviously kids require a lot of time. They require a lot of attention. And obviously those things are good too. But you can't neglect your spouse for those things.
That's right.
Welcome back to another episode of the Married with Mugicas podcast. We are so excited you're here. Glad to have you. We are Richard and Haley Mugica. We've been married for 12 years, have 4 kids, run a home-based business, homeschool, just are starting our very, very beginner early stage homesteading journey, all of the home things,
Yeah.
all the fun things.
You're a little sick.
I am a little under. Sorry about that. But our slogan here on this show is building a marriage you love coming home to. And that's what we want for all of you.
That's right.
So welcome back. How are you feeling?
Welcome back to the pod. I'll tell you what, I am feeling extra good today.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Yeah, today I feel good. You know what? I looked at my watch this morning and I had 100%. So the body battery, I slept really good, I guess.
Whoa.
So it was like 100%.
That's crazy.
So I think it's psychological more than anything, but because it's kind of working in my favor, I feel pretty good.
Okay. And so far you've evaded this cold, which is amazing. You got all the kids, except maybe on.
I honestly haven't felt anything.
That's amazing. Your supplements are working for you.
Supplements are working. I don't know, something's working. And then also too, hey, if you're listening to the podcast, we recently just changed it up a bit. We have a weekly marriage game plan that you can sign up for. So if you go to a link in the description on this podcast, YouTube, Instagram, you can enter your email address. And then every Sunday, we're going to give you a weekly marriage game plan. It's going to be like 5 minutes, super valuable. And you can sign up on social media.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's exciting. So in our world, I mean, things have been crazy.
Have been very intense. Very
crazy. We moved. We told you guys this, but we actually moved a week ago today. So it's just been like hard charging. Moving is so much work. You forget how much work it is.
Oh my gosh.
But it's been so good. We're so happy in this new house. I've never said this before. And we've lived in beautiful homes that have been great for the season we're in, but I really feel like this could be a forever home for us. And I'm very excited about that.
It definitely could be. Well, it's got plenty of land to be a forever home.
Yeah.
It's a really great home. I didn't realize how much I was going to enjoy it. You know, I kind of feel like the king of the castle because now we wake up in the morning, we go outside and you have so much space.
Beautiful view and it's quiet.
And you have a nice view and it's very quiet. At our old house, it was more so of a track home.
Yeah.
And every morning we would have a great morning together, but it was always indoors.
Yeah.
Because if you go outside, then you have the neighbors you feel like are looking at you. And then the backyard was kind of just smaller and we didn't have enough space back there. So we never wanted to really go outside.
Yeah.
But I feel like this home is different. It's like
always outside.
Everything's just outside. And it's been wonderful.
Yes.
I'm not going to lie.
It's been really, really nice.
Really
and this cold hit me like literally the day we moved in. So
I know it did.
I think
and Haley really never gets sick.
I never get sick, but I'm always so consistent with my sleep. And
That's
moving is like, it's a lot of work and a lot of late nights. And like literally that first night I was up past my bedtime and my body was like, nope, we don't do this.
I know. The movers didn't leave till 1 a.m.
The movers didn't leave till 1 a.m.
I mean, it was.
And I've been sick ever since, but I'm feeling better today.
We're 5 days in, and we've gotten a lot done. So we should pat ourselves on the back. We're 7 days in. That's right. We're Thursday to Thursday. Yeah, we're 7 days in. That's nuts.
Crazy.
Holy smokes.
But anyways, so for today's episode, we did it a little bit different today.
We did.
We took a little poll over on Instagram.
We did.
Gave you guys a couple options, asked you guys to vote on what the topic was going to be today. So do you want to see what we're talking about today? Let's see what won.
Yeah, buddy.
So our podcast today is going to be strong marriages equals strong kids.
Marriages equals strong kids. Give them the flavor. Hey, are you not going to go live?
I am not right now.
No? Okay.
I guess, yeah. But so that was the winners. That's what we're talking about today.
Let's do it.
Having a strong marriage produces stronger kids.
By the way, we just had a viral reel go.
We did.
I don't know. It's nuts.
It's crazy. So, I mean, this is like kind of business side of stuff, which isn't as fun, but we went from like under 2,000 followers 5 days ago
on Instagram
to now we're at like almost 11,000
yeah,
in like a couple days.
And this reel's almost gone like 1 million views.
The reel has, it's just crazy.
That's nuts. I don't know.
It's funny. And like I will completely stand by what I said on that reel because I think it was true. But it's funny how people have kind of taken it a different way than what I necessarily meant, where it was, you guys know me. If you're here for the first time, this might shock you if you're here because of that reel. But I would consider myself an anti-feminist. And that reel kind of took on a feminist turn that I wasn't prepared for, that I don't like that turn that people took with it, but I still stand by what I said.
Interesting. Well, hey, people are going to say, this and that.
People will get out of it what they need, and that's okay.
That's right. No doubt about it. So today's topic is stronger marriages, stronger kids.
Yes.
I like it.
And I really, really believe wholeheartedly with everything in me that the best gift you can give your children is to love their father or their mother and to have a strong marriage.
I agree.
I believe that with everything in me. And I think that people can get that mixed up sometimes where they think that in order to give their kids the best gift, they have to pour everything into their kids, when really your kids are going to be okay if you're pouring into your spouse. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yep.
But it can be really hard because obviously kids require a lot of time. They require a lot of attention. And obviously those things are good too. But you can't neglect your spouse for those things.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. There's a good delineation there. I think oftentimes because kids are so demanding, you feel like the best thing to do is to start prioritizing the kids because it's the most neediness thing in your life at that time, Mm-hmm. And, but what I can say firsthand is our kids notice our love for each other.
And it makes them feel so much more confident.
You can just tell, that like they notice when we hug each other. They notice when we kiss each other. And it's not even
just our kids. It's our nieces and nephews notice it. Like the people around us, it's like almost a joke. The other day we went to the escape room for your dad's birthday. And we did girls versus the guys. So we were in separate rooms. And before we left to go into our separate rooms, Rich and I were hugging and kissing and saying goodbye. And our niece was like, oh my gosh, you guys are only going to be apart for an hour. But everyone knows we really do like to be together.
It's so true. It's just woven into the fabric of our marriage.
And it's, it's just,
and here's the framework that I think of. I don't know if you think about this, but I'm always, not always, but oftentimes I'm asking myself the question, what are the behaviors that I want the kids to repeat, right? So when they get married, is this what I'm doing right now, is this something that I want my kids to not do in the future or to replicate in the future? And oftentimes when we're just, affectionate with each other, we show our love for each other. Some people call it PTA. What is it called?
PDA.
Yeah, PDA. Like our nephews and nieces will be like, yeah, Uncle Rich and Auntie Haley give so much PDA. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing: is when our kids get married, I want them to replicate a lot of that. I hope that they have PDA with their spouse, and I hope that they might have longer kisses than necessary with their spouse, and I hope that they would want to be physically, connected, affectionate with each other. So that's the framework that I run through in my mind. I try to stay away from the behaviors that I don't want them to replicate and move towards the behaviors that I always want them to replicate.
Believe me, our kids oh, it's so gross. Dad, why'd you have to grab Mom's butt? Oh my gosh, or our son will come put his hand in between our mouths when we're kissing. But I think that's what's really important to remember is your children are only children for a very short season of their life. Majority of their life they're going to spend as an adult outside of your home. So you have to set the example of what you want their life to look like in the future, not what they think is gross when they're 10 and 8, or 10 and 9, I guess they are. You don't want to cater to that because that is so fleeting and so temporary. But what they are, like you're saying, what you want them to repeat when they're older is those things. So just, they think it's gross.
Yeah.
Forget that.
You know how I'd equate it? This is how I think about it. When they're like, oh, that's gross, Dad, Mom. It's the same thing when a boy goes or a girl goes, you have cooties. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, you have cooties. You're so gross.
When really they love it.
When really underneath they're so into it.
They're so into it. Exactly.
Yes, that's how I take that.
100%.
And if they didn't say that, and if they weren't like that, I would be concerned. Like if they were like, "Oh yeah, that's great." Like, no, but kids, that's how kids show you that they're into it.
Right.
You know, that's their whatever weird language that
so
they
I think
use.
you get some parents that are like, "Oh no, it makes our kids uncomfortable. Like we don't kiss in front of our kids because they don't like it." It's like, "Oh no. Yes, they do.
Yes, they
Yes,
do.
they do."
Yes, they do.
And they probably really do think it's gross.
Yeah.
But it gives them so much stability and so much comfort and so much confidence to know that like mom and dad are good.
Are solid.
Mom and dad are good.
It's the foundation of the family. Like the marriage is the foundation.
Yeah.
And if that's weak, the kids can get weak. You know what I'm saying?
And just kids are so smart and kids are really intuitive.
Perceptive, yeah.
And they're really perceptive.
Very
and
much.
if your marriage is rocky, if you think you're hiding it from your kids, you're not.
Yes.
They know, and they're kind of walking on eggshells like, "Oh, I don't want to make mom cry," or "I don't want to tip dad off," or, you know, like, and you don't want them to feel like that. You want them to know mom and dad are good. Like you do what you need to do. Mom and dad are good.
Yep.
You know, that's a gift you can give to your kids.
That's a huge gift.
And I think it's just a mindset shift for parents.
I think it's the number one gift you can give your kids.
It is. And okay, I have another point on that, so don't let me forget. But I think it's just a mindset shift for parents of you're not being selfish to focus on your marriage. You're giving your children a gift by focusing on your marriage.
Yep.
It's just a little shift.
Yep.
This is one thing I tell our boys all the time is that they have a big responsibility with their sisters because the way they treat their sisters, what their sister's going to expect and think of is normal and what they'll look for in a husband. But the same is true for the example you leave in your marriage, right? What you do, your children are going to grow up thinking is normal and it's what they're going to look for. If you want your daughter to grow up and find a man that treats her well, you have to treat her mother well. Or if you want your sons to grow up and find a woman who takes care of them, you got to take care of their father.
We could stay on that point for all day long.
That could be the entire podcast.
That could be the entire podcast.
So important.
What kids see is what kids do.
But at the same time, if you neglect your spouse because you're focusing on your kids, they're going to grow up and find a spouse that neglects them to focus on their kids. And you don't want your kid, like I said, they're only a kid for a little while. They're a grown up in their own marriage, in their own home a lot longer.
Yep.
You don't want them to go be neglected for 50, 60 years because
That's right.
their spouse is focusing on their kids.
That's right.
Grandkids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Do you remember that one stat that we gave? This is in one of the early episodes. Do you know the average marriage age for a divorce?
Was it like 19?
19 years. And I started thinking about that. I'm like, well, why is that? And it's exactly because of what you said. They have a marriage and they put all the focus, time, and attention into the kids. When do the kids start leaving the house? About 19, 18 years old. You know, they're going to college, they're off to there. And now the parents are stuck with each other and they don't know each other anymore because all the focus went into the kids. And I find that to be a very fascinating stat.
Yeah.
So let's not, we can learn from that though. Like you can learn from that and do the opposite.
Well, and I just want to speak to parents with older kids like that. If you think, oh, my kids are out of the house, we don't need to be married anymore. Your kids still do need you to be married.
Yeah.
They really do. Like without, I guess, getting too personal.
We'll get personal.
There's just been situations in our lives where it's looked like things have gotten unstable and it's very uncomfortable. And it's it produces a lot of like, oh my gosh, but what about the grandkids and what are holidays going to look like? And it's like, it's a gift to give your children to be happy and for your kids to know, even your adult kids who aren't living in your home anymore, to know that mom and dad are good.
Yeah. And not to mention, I mean, if we go into the biblicalness of it, there's only, it's very hard to find biblical grounds for divorce other than, what is it? Infidelity. Yeah. So.
And even that, I mean, that's a whole other episode, but even infidelity, even though it's grounds for divorce, it still is not God's desire.
Oh, no, of course.
He allows it, but when things can be worked on.
Fight for your marriage, man.
Always. Yeah.
Fight. I'm going to wear a shirt that says fight.
I like that.
Like that?
I do.
Yeah. So what are some practical ways that you can make this happen in your marriage? People are listening and they're like, okay, strong marriage. I'm bought into the concept. It makes sense. Like I believe you. A stronger marriage is going to produce stronger kids. So what's a practical way to kind of think about that in terms of?
Well, I think a big one that we're at least big advocates for is physical affection.
Yeah.
And like, it might seem over the top, but like, let your kids see you be physically affectionate, kissing, hugging, grabbing the butt, all of those things, right?
The whole
Those
shebang.
are all good.
Yeah.
I think that's really important. And then also, I think one that can be hard for a lot of moms, and it was hard for me to get over, is get a sitter once a week, once a month, whatever your budget can afford, and leave and go on a date with your husband. It makes such a huge difference. And I think dates at home are good. And I think if that's the season you're in, that's fine. But there's something about leaving and like not having the laundry buzzing at you and not having anyone to feed and not having anyone getting out of bed because they need water. Actually leave with your husband, enjoy a few hours, and then come home. I get it, as a mom, it can feel really hard, but
Yeah.
That one thing alone has made a world of difference for our marriage. And our kids know, like, oh, it's date night, like mom and dad are leaving. Like, they know that we prioritize date night.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, a good analogy, how I think about it is you're kind of filling up the bank account. Like date nights refill the bank account.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of men, because I think just men in general are a little bit more money conscious usually, right?
Yeah.
And they can start thinking like, well, this is an expense, right? Why, we can do it at home. We can, we see each other at night. We spend plenty of time, as a man, you can start justifying it. But I think another way you can start viewing date night is it's really an investment in the marriage. Yes, you're going to use some resources, but those resources are going to multiply 10, 20, 30 times over with the marriage that you're going to form because of the date nights. So I throw that in there because some women, whatever, might say, well, yeah, but it's an expense. It's like, well, no, I think the mindset is it's a huge investment into your family.
Yeah. And we've been consistent about date night for 2 years now, maybe.
Yeah.
And it's made a huge difference.
Pretty religiously.
Oh, very.
Yeah.
And even just like my energy for the rest of the week is like, I just feel like my tank's a little bit more filled up.
Exactly.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. The bank account's getting more full, man.
The bank account's full.
The bank account's full. So you have the physical side of things. And then now what comes after the physical?
Well, I think talking's really important.
Yeah.
Like sharing your dreams, hey, I learned about this concept today and I thought this was really interesting. Like, what are your thoughts? Or even, hey, I heard this guy say this and I completely disagreed. What do you think? Or whatever, just stuff to talk about what you think, what's on your heart, what's on your mind.
Yeah. It's a good point because I think our kids see a lot of the conversations that we have in open public, how we process certain decision-making criteria. A lot of those things are discussed just out. I mean, whether we're in the car with the kids, we're in the living room with the kids, we're discussing these topics in front of them all.
And we have one kid in particular that I know really listens to all of these things. But I think that's really good because he's, like you said, he's able to see how we work through things, how we talk about things, how we communicate things, what we think about these big ideas.
Yep. And now we're training them on how to think like us. It's indoctrination, but hey, that's what you got to do.
How to think like us, but also just how to approach any situation.
Life.
Where you got to talk about something. Like, what does that look like? A lot of people don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
How to share their perspective and how to listen to someone else's perspective respectfully. That's a gift you can give your kids, is showing them how to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Kids see what they do. I mean, they do what they see. Mm-hmm. And I'm very conscious of that. And I know that the best way to train my kids is not necessarily tell them words. It's by the daily actions that they see. Mm-hmm. And if you start thinking about that as a married couple, it's like, okay, my kids will ultimately do what I do. It's like you start thinking, the pressure's on, right? Their marriage is largely going to be referenced by your marriage. Their communication is going to be referenced by your communication style.
Yeah.
The way they process arguments and fights and, mom and dad had a disagreement. They're going to remember that when they get older and they're going to be like, mom and dad approached it like this.
Even in really subconscious ways of like, if you as your husband and wife, you can't communicate without getting angry, without yelling, then when they go into and they have a conflict with their spouse, not only are they going to be yellers, maybe
because it's justified,
but even if they're not yellers and they do the opposite, it's going to kind of raise a red flag, like, I might get yelled at because I disagree, and it's going to make them really scared to share their point of view. For some kids,
yeah,
you know? And then, so now you're giving somebody that's like timid, oh, I've got to hide in this shell because of what you did with your spouse. And so if you want your kids to be confident and able to share their perspective, you've got to show that, hey, perspectives are welcome. We want to hear your perspective.
There's no criticizing.
Only feedback.
Feedback. That's right. Yeah, 100%.
That was a really good delineation. I liked that a lot. And then I think spiritually, I think it's also really important to go to church together.
Oh, man. Come on. Say it again, sister.
Got to go to church together. And
Can I get an amen?
amen.
Yeah.
And we got, okay, this is just me. Now, I understand other people might disagree, but for me, I won't let our kids sit in church with us. They are going to go to their class at church. And because our church has a fantastic children's program, and I know that they learn a lot. It's not just like, hey, color this while your parents are gone.
Yeah.
They're learning a lot. Dad and I are going to go sit in church, and we're going to learn, and we're going to worship together, and we're going to hold hands, and we're going to cuddle a little bit on the pew, and then we'll come pick you up in an hour.
Yeah. Church is like a mini date.
It's like a mini date.
Yeah, it's a mini date for us.
And then we get in the car and we talk about the sermon and what we heard, and our kids are able to hear. And we'll tell the kids, hey, what did you guys learn about? Here's what Dad and I learned about today. It was really interesting. And then they'll hear Dad and I talk about it. And I think church is a must. Church is a must.
It's not a a nice to have. It's a must have.
It's a must have.
In our family, it's a must have. And here's another thing. Don't think for a second that our kids wake up in the morning and just want to go to church.
Oh, I can't tell you.
Every single morning. Oh, church, Mom. They start crying.
Except the girls.
They're
girls
like, oh, and no, they all love it afterwards.
Afterwards,
they love it.
Girls love it.
Getting them there is like a nightmare. It's like, man, you think the world's going to fall apart. They're all just like, oh, this sucks. Why do we have to go to church? We go to church. Everybody gets out. Everybody's like, oh, church was awesome. Mommy, I learned this. I got to see my friend. So look, if your marriage is like, if you're thinking, dude, it's so hard to get to church because my kids don't want that's probably everybody.
Okay. And children are children. And listen, I understand people will disagree with me on this too. Children are children. Children do not get to dictate what the family does.
I know. And we see that oftentimes with some families.
Know there's other people who think that, hey, if I want to teach my kid that their opinion is valuable, so I'm going to ask them where they want to go or ask them what they want to do. I'm sorry. I think that's baloney.
Yeah.
I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think that kids get a lot of confidence and security from knowing that mom and dad know what we're doing. And there's a time where they're going to grow up and they're going to be in charge of their schedule. It is not yet.
Yeah.
And they are not the center of the world, and they are not going to dictate what the family does. So we are not going to not go to church because the kids don't want to go to church.
Even just from a science-based perspective, their brains are nowhere near developed.
Too much pressure for them.
They don't know. Like they think they know. Like their cognitive reasoning, their ability to think clearly is just not developed.
They think that they know, but they also at the same time know that they don't know.
Yeah, but they're trying to see what they can get away with.
So it's
right?
very uncomfortable.
Who's the leader, right?
That's a very uncomfortable limbo for kids to be in charge, because they know that they're not ready for it. They'll do it if you give it to them, but they don't want to. They think they want to, but they know they don't want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, just like you don't judge your PDA by what your kids are okay with, you don't judge whether or not you go to church.
Mom, I don't want to do homeschool. It's like, well, that's a good perspective. I appreciate that, but you're going to do homeschool. Yeah.
Which, for the record, our kids don't complain. Well, they complain about doing school, but they don't complain about being homeschooled. They would rather be homeschooled than go to school.
Yeah.
But they still, okay, this is a total side note, but it is shocking to me. Our kids have been homeschooled since the dawn of time. It's all we've ever done.
Yeah.
And every day when I say, okay, guys, time for school, they're surprised. I'm like, we do this every day. How is this a shock? It's bizarre.
Homeschool today, Mommy? Oh, that's too funny. Yeah. Yeah. The kids they call them kids for a reason.
Exactly.
So.
And we have a childhood for a reason. That's why we're not born little adults. It takes a childhood to become an adult.
Yes.
So you don't give adult responsibility to children.
Yep.
It's not fair.
So is it safe to say that, the strength of your marriage is a huge factor in the strength of your kids?
Of course.
That's a fair statement.
Yes. And I think the strength of the family is purely a mirror of the strength of the marriage.
It's a reflection.
It's a reflection. And you do not fool yourself into thinking that your kids can be strong and confident in all of these things without having a strong marriage. They are going to suffer somewhere, whether it's in who they choose for a spouse or how confident they are sharing their opinion or what they accept as normal, they're going to suffer somewhere if you can't get your marriage under control.
That's right.
Okay, so we talked about my kind of what I saw as the physical, emotional, and the spiritual ways to prioritize your marriage. What did I miss any that you think that we do? Oh, I have one more.
Yeah.
I think a really important one is we go to bed together at the same time every night. There's no like, oh, I'm going to stay up and play my video game for a while. You go to bed and I'll be there later.
Yeah.
Like there's none of that.
That's an absolute must. Yeah. Or another one that I think couples get into, it's like, hey, I'm going to work tonight. And, you know.
And we did have a season of that, to be fair.
Yeah, we did have a season.
There was a season where it was just grind.
That's a really good point. I forgot about that season.
No,
I think there was about a year or so where we didn't go to bed actually together because we were trying to get the side hustle going. Yeah,
and it paid off, and
it did pay off
to do. So
that's a great point.
There's definitely seasons,
Periods.
But I think you have to. It can't become your norm. It has to be acknowledged that this is for a season, and we're going to move on from this.
Yeah. Sleeping together. That's a huge one. Anything else that I think
and
of?
then honestly, as like frivolous and silly as this sounds, as much sex as possible.
That's a given.
It really and it's not whatever. I'm just gonna leave it at that, but it's important.
What were you gonna say?
Just have as much sex as possible.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. The reason why you want to have as much sex as possible is because no matter how you slice it, you're going to feel more connected to your spouse. And if you're more connected to your spouse, what does that mean? You're going to show that more in front of the kids, and then that's going to strengthen, it's a cycle.
And of course, sex physically is fun. It's good. It's one of God's greatest
How fun
gifts.
is it?
It's the best. But like you're saying, it's that the intimacy and the bond and the emotional attachment and the security. It's so many things under the surface. It's not just the physical act. Even though the physical act is...
No, it's not. I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah. Dude, look, not to go too much into it, but the periods where we're having the most sex is when we're having the best marriage too.
Yes.
It goes hand in hand. It's the gateway drug. They say marijuana is like the gateway drug to whatever else, but sex is the gateway drug to a great
Or it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg? It's like, do you have a lot of sex because your marriage is good, or is your marriage good because you have a lot of sex? Well, they're kind of both.
They're kind of both, yeah.
It's
just like, the circle of life, baby. Mufasa. Or was it? Mufasa. Lion King.
Okay.
The circle.
That's my favorite.
He's like holding him up in the camera. Anyways, that got kind of wild. But yes, I mean, so bottom line is, yes, stronger marriage, stronger kids, and it might be the holy grail.
Best gift you can give your children is a strong, healthy marriage.
Now, if you don't have a strong, healthy marriage, that's a whole nother story. Obviously it's always a work in progress, but we have so many episodes on,
And that's the beautiful thing is it can be worked on, and it can be improved.
Okay. Hey, let me ask you this. There's probably people listening that say, man, for the last 10 years, I've been doing it maybe a little wrong. I've been prioritizing the kids. I've been letting the busyness of life move me and the husband, or the husband and my spouse, away from each other. How do we now bring it back to this? Like, how do we get out of that cycle and start this new cycle together? I bet you there's some people thinking like this.
I'm sure there are.
And, now you have to almost change the culture of your family a little bit. Like, it's going to be a culture shock, because you might feel like, you ever heard of a sunk cost fallacy? No. It's the sunk cost fallacy. How can I describe this? It's where you're doing something for so long, you feel like you have to continue doing it, even though you know it's not the right way to do it. Mm. So for example, let's just say you start a business and you realize this business is going nowhere, but you've put so much time, effort, and energy into it. You're like, well, I'm going to continue doing it because I've been doing it for so long, even though you know it's not right.
Okay, can I give an example of that?
Yeah.
We had a really good friend, and we were probably in our mid-20s. We were still really young at this time. And he was a mechanic.
Yeah.
And he hated being a mechanic.
Yes.
But he had spent $7,000 on all his mechanic tools.
Yeah.
So he felt like, I can't not be a mechanic because I spent all this money on these tools. He's no longer a mechanic. He's an IT guy.
And he's loving it.
And he's so good at it.
Makes way more money. He's just loving life.
But
yeah. So my point was, don't get caught into the sunk cost fallacy of, well, you know what? Maybe we should just continue doing what we're doing because we've been doing it for so long. Like, it might be time to let's change it.
Yeah. And so I would say I would give 4 like practical things you can do today to change it. 1, book a sitter for date night as often as you can. Once a week preferable, but if it's twice a month, once a month, whatever, book a sitter and start that. 2, start having sex as often as possible. Like keep a little money jar and put $1 in it every time you have sex and see how many dollars you can get in a month.
Ooh, tracking. I love it.
You know?
What gets measured gets managed.
Or yeah. Okay. I would also buy the marriage journal from the Beating 50.
How many times have we said that?
We need to get paid for this.
I know. We've been married. You know what? We're going to come out with our own marriage journal.
You know what? Maybe one day.
I think we need to come out with our own marriage journal.
You have to go to beating50%.com and buy the marriage journal, and once a week sit down with your spouse and connect that way.
Absolutely must.
And then what was the 4th one?
I don't know.
Have sex, go on a date night, do the marriage journal. If I remember the 4th one, I'll tell you. But those 3 are a really good head start.
I know the 4th one. I'll give you a 4th one.
Okay, let's hear it.
Have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
Sit down. Hey, whether you're a husband listening to this, a spouse, one on a date night, just be like, hey, you know what? I was listening to this podcast and this is what they were talking about. And, they were talking about how a strong marriage, kind of prioritizing the marriage is going to help our kids and XYZ. And I felt like for the longest time, we've kind of drifted away from that. We've been maybe placing more focus on the kids and raising the kids and sports and busyness. I'd love to try this out. Can we maybe prioritize us in this next season of life? And that could kick it off.
Absolutely.
And it sets the tone for what's to come.
And then there's a movie that we've referenced before called Fireproof. But you might kind of find yourself in a situation like that. And that situation would be you tell your spouse, hey, I really want to change the way we're doing things, but your spouse isn't really on board yet, or they don't really believe you. So you might have to actually do the work for a little while before your spouse jumps on board. But your spouse will jump on board if you're consistent with it and if they see that you're serious.
That's right.
So just plan the date night, buy the journal, make the tea, say, hey, we're going to sit down and we're going to do this.
Spouse knows you're serious.
Yes. And especially, if you've been that mom who's really neglected your spouse to prioritize your kids, they might, as a way of protecting themselves, because that actually really hurts, they might be like, oh, I don't know if she means it this time. So you've got to really do the work to show that you mean it. Be willing to do that work because it's a good work and it's worth it. And I would suggest watching that movie. It's a good movie.
Fireproof. We watched that way back in the day.
Oh, it's an old one. Yeah. It's a good one, though.
There's also The War Room.
The War Room was the same maker. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good one, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
well, there you go.
For us, what's the bottom line here?
The bottom line is this: a stronger marriage is gonna equal stronger kids, and you have 3 main ways that you can do it. You can do it through physical touch, which we highly recommend. You show more physical touch to each other. You have the emotional side, just connecting in front of the kids emotionally, conversations, sharing big ideas. And then you have the 3rd one, which was, spiritually. Get to church, prioritize God and faith, and don't let the busyness of sports take that away from you guys, because that can creep in slowly and it's a slow drip, man. You don't want to go down that road. So you have those 3 things that you can do to strengthen your marriage, which will ultimately strengthen your kids. And then if right now you're not on that path and you're like, dude, we've been putting the kids first, well, then follow your 4-step framework, right? Step number 1, get date nights scheduled. Just do it. Get the marriage journal, beating50%.com. Number 3,
have sex.
Have sex a lot, more than maybe you think you should. And then number 4 is have a conversation around it. And that'll get you back on track. And then, voila, there you go. Anything else you want to add, babes?
You summed it up pretty good.
Did I sum it up good?
That was perfect.
Cool.
So as always, you guys can follow us on Instagram at Married with the Mugicas, YouTube, Married with the Mugicas. I think we're also on TikTok now.
Yeah, we just started TikTok. I don't know if anybody does TikTok.
Twitter.
We want to start Twitter. So we're going to break up the reels a little bit. Haley had a good idea.
Yeah.
Hey, we post a lot of reels. So, we should probably have some of it, just us, like family life, what we're going to try to do. No promises. But we're also going to incorporate some quotes into the lineup.
And just to be completely honest, the only one we are really on is Instagram. Everything else is kind of managed for us by our social media manager. But if you want to talk to us,
Instagram,
DM us on Instagram and we will respond there.
100%.
And then all the podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, Audible, all those fun places. And
Yeah, and then sign up for the weekly game plan. I'm telling you. Link in the bio. We'll send it every Sunday for you guys.
Yes, thank you so much, guys. This was a really fun one.
All right. Love you, babes.
Love you. Proud of you.
Proud of you.